Hello, everyone, and welcome to yet another episode of Renaissance with Swati. I'm your host, and today I have a very special guest with me, Neeru Kapoor Mam, who was my class teacher in my 12th standard. Ma'am, how have you been? It's so good to see you after so long, and you've not changed a bit.
Thank you, Beta. Thank you, Swati. It's been amazing to see you. I mean, it's such a good feeling to see a child of what, 16, 17 years old to a
Yeah,
grown-up young lady.
so we've almost seen
I
each other,
feel
I
so
think.
blessed.
Yeah,
What?
I think
More
I'm
than
seeing
20
you after
years.
18, 20 years. Yeah,
18, yeah. So
yeah,
it's really nice.
yeah,
How have
it's
been your
really good.
journey?
My journey has been good. Life teaches you a lot after you step out from school. Life teaches
So
you a
true.
lot.
So,
School is a bed of roses.
yeah.
So, ma'am, before we start, I would like to say a few lines about you. Neeru Kapoor Mam is one of the best chemistry teachers from one of the best schools in Delhi. She's also an excellent dancer and even an amazing performer on stage. I still remember the time when ma'am you performed as a main character in one of our annual day functions in a play, and we were all left in awe. Your performance was just
एक
amazing.
प्रयास, एक प्रयास.
Some
Uh,
maybe I don't
yeah,
remember the name.
it was Ek Prayas, which we try to do for against substance abuse,
Yeah,
AIDS.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah.
It was awesome. We had never seen that
Oh,
side of you, and it was just amazing.
thank you.
So I would like to share one more secret. Neeru Kapoor ma'am, you have always been one of the most strictest, yet one of the most likable teachers of the school. And I still remember when you used to call me, Swati, come here, solve this organic numerical on the stage, organic
And
chemistry numerical on the board. And I used to
and
shiver.
it's gone.
I used to freeze.
Yeah, that is
So
what I think I am.
how did you maintain all these different personas, at home, at school, being a performer, being strict, being, lovable, and all these
They
different personas?
they are like, maybe the only thing I can say, this is what I am. As far as strictness is concerned, believe me, the strictness was only as far as discipline goes, right? If
Right.
you remember, wrong answers would never offend me. Writing something
Right.
wrong would never offend me.
Right. Right.
But if you are not disciplined, if I have asked you to bring your NCRT and your
Right.
notebook, and if that
Right.
is not there, that would
Right.
offend. So
Right.
basically,
So
it's
that
a
kind of
life
discipline is
discipline.
right. That kind of
Yeah.
discipline is needed. And that is why, we used to freeze. So if I do some mistake in the lab or on the board, what will ma'am think? What will ma'am say? It is kind of a respect. And I think, respect for the teacher also.
Actually, it's very difficult for small kids to understand that the strictness is not to harm them. We never intend to hit you or give
Of
you a
course. Of
pain.
course. Of
But
course.
maybe it's not, maybe it's the strictness in my voice which makes students a
But
little afraid of me. That's it.
But ma'am,
Uh,
people were not afraid of you. I remember my class, the biotechnology section, there were so many notorious students also, and they all loved you. They were afraid of you only during the chemistry class, but outside of the chemistry class, they were all in awe of you. They were all loved. They loved you so much.
this is something which is, I'm really blessed as a teacher. And I have seen one thing that students, they say that 11, 12 students are like grown up ones, but it's not. It's very easy to fall in love with them.
Right, right,
They
right.
love you. It's very easy because
Yeah.
I remember my father's one statement, just one thing,
Hmm.
be honest to your subject. And students will accept anything about
Right,
you,
right.
anything.
So that was
So,
what brought you to
powerful.
teaching this
Yeah,
line?
my father was a chemistry professor in
Okay,
Banaras
okay, okay,
University. Teach MSc
okay,
students.
okay, okay.
Swati, it's very easy to catch hold of young minds. Very
Right,
easy
right,
to make
right,
them love
right,
you and
right.
just be little sweet, be little
Hmm.
understanding, and they are all yours.
Of
But
course, of course.
grown-ups of MSc like 22, 23 years old, and if they love you, believe me, you have to have something much more than simple teacher.
Of course,
So
of
when I used
course.
to see my father was appreciated and loved by those students, and they literally used to worship my father.
Wow,
And that was something
that
which
was
made me
something.
feel
Yeah.
that no, I also want to be a teacher and I want to be loved like him. This is
Yeah.
a little
And
uh,
your dream
mind
came
of
true,
mine used
ma'am.
to.
You know, all of my class, and I know all the students who have studied from you, still love you, you know. They can never forget you.
So my father is proud of me.
That's great.
Wherever he
So,
is, he's
ma'am,
proud.
teaching has evolved over the years. So, how do you think the curriculum has evolved? Is it still the same or is it more practical based now?
No, as far as school teaching is concerned, yes, syllabus has changed from a chapter or two here and there, something
Mm-hmm.
deleted, something added. That is there.
Mm-hmm.
Teaching methodology hasn't
Mm-hmm.
changed much, but yes,
Okay.
evaluation method has changed.
Okay.
If you now see a question paper, it is more objective
Okay.
and we don't have long answers.
Mm-hmm.
But in chemistry, it doesn't matter much because
Of
if you
course.
are asking about in conversion, it is still the
Mm-hmm.
same.
Of
But
course. Right.
numericals are still the same. But for
Right.
rest of the subjects, now we don't have long answers, your
Mm-hmm.
long conversions. They have to
Mm-hmm.
be limited steps. So that
Right.
evaluation method has
Right.
changed. Project based, it has become project
Right.
based,
Right.
activity based,
Right.
especially for
Right.
younger classes.
Mm-hmm.
But
That's
11th,
nice.
12th hasn't changed much
Yeah, because people
in
still have to
rest of
focus.
the subjects. Yeah, it's like not only for science, now all the subjects of humanities as well as commerce, they have now activity
Okay.
basis. They
Okay.
have got
Okay.
80 marks theory and 20 marks practical, so
Okay,
that is
okay,
there.
okay. That's nice. So, ma'am, in the years, in all these years that we have grown up, has the, perspective of parents, students, and teachers changed in terms of, the respect or how the parenting has changed, how parents come to you, how students come to you?
I think that is the only change which I saw in my career of 33 years. Earlier, teachers and parents used to be on one side of the table, and we were like together for kids.
Hmm.
So
Right,
what if I
right.
say something, parents will automatically ditto it.
Okay,
Later on, they might come to me and they'll say,
right.
ma'am, my kid is little and he cannot be
Mm-hmm.
dealt like this.
Mm-hmm.
But in front of students, it was very clear that
Okay.
no, whatever ma'am is saying, or I would say whatever parents are saying, you have to. So
Mm-hmm.
obey that. Literally
Mm-hmm.
obey.
Right,
But now
right.
the scene has changed. I will not say that hitting students would uh, be any more beneficial or it had ever been beneficial. I'm not
Mm-hmm.
commenting on that. But there have our method of teaching has told a statement. When you
Right.
want to teach a child, आपको बच्चे को पढ़ाना है, सब्जेक्ट नहीं,
Mm-hmm.
जिंदगी.
Right. Life.
तो साम दाम दंड भेद
Right. Right.
कोई भी नीति अपनानी पड़ेगी.
Mm-hmm.
Now, but that is the place where you do you understand what is
Yeah, yeah,
Sam
yeah,
Dam
yeah, yeah,
Dand?
yeah. Completely
Sam
understand
is
that.
love,
Yeah. Anyways,
right?
yeah. Right.
Sam is love.
Mm-hmm.
And now parents want to stick to only that. Let
Okay.
it be Sam.
Right. Right.
It's not possible. You people also deal with your kids.
Mm.
Really, they understand only one language? No,
No. Right. Right.
different languages.
Right. Right.
Let
Right.
me tell you one thing. Every every person is not very good with the vocabulary of making students understand the life
Of
lessons
course, of course, of
of
course.
your own subject.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want to tell a child that this is not done,
Right.
it has to be told this is not
Of
done.
course, of course, of course. No, these
Or
days I see that, parents are too much protective. Even I am too much protective of the
no, there
kids.
is being protective. See,
Yeah.
I'm also very protective about my class, where I'm a class teacher. I tell my
Okay,
students, I can literally thrash you people, but I
okay.
won't let anybody say anything to you.
Right, right,
Because whatever will happen it will be inside the classroom. You say
right,
something, I shout at you,
right,
I make
right,
you. But if
right,
I heard somebody else saying, your class students have done
right,
this,
right,
believe me, you're gone. So it's not that. We also protect our
right,
kids.
right, right,
But
right,
then parents have to understand this, that if teacher is
right.
something saying, if she's
Mm,
saying something,
mm.
you have to be with her.
Of course,
She
of
will not
course.
harm your child.
Right,
But
right.
somehow
No,
I'm seeing that parents are losing that faith on teachers. And at the same time, teachers are also not very comfortable in dealing with the students,
mm-hmm.
uh, not very open to it, because they don't know which sentence of there will be caught by the student,
Okay, okay.
translated to the teacher,
Mm-hmm.
parents in some form, and the
Mm.
parents will come charging. Now, every time parents would say, मैम आपको तो हम कोर्ट में देख लेंगे. How do you,
Right,
why don't you
right,
understand? We are
right,
dealing with young
right,
minds.
right. No, I've heard
You
this from
cannot
other
threaten
yeah,
and get this for your child.
right.
This
I've
has
heard
changed.
this. I've heard this, even if a teacher says even a single line to a student, they go to the principal, they complain about the teacher, and then teachers take a back seat, Why should we take
They
so
have
much
to,
effort if they are going to complain about us?
no, I do tell
Mm-hmm.
parents this thing. You people have got maximum of 2 kids.
Mm-hmm.
You cannot tackle with them, right?
Right, right.
If you want we
Hmm.
teachers to
Mm-hmm.
tackle 50 students,
Right, right.
really? You think that it can be done in a simple manner? At times
Right,
you say something
right.
to a child and you make it so vocal so that it is conveyed to rest of
Hmm.
them.
Right, 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 right,
At times
right.
the parents used to come and say, "Ma'am, आपने हमारे बच्चे को तो कुछ नहीं कहा." No, ma'am, she is very scared of you. Fine.
Okay.
So I used to ask them, "Have I said anything to Swati?"
Mm-hmm.
No, 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 ma'am. You have never said anything to her. You have been saying something to XYZ. Hello? Make your child understand
Right,
that he should be able to decipher whether
right,
something is said to you or
right.
will such things will be said to you.
Of
Will
course.
you ever
Right,
behave in that manner? And
right,
if not,
right,
then why are
right.
you afraid? What has she done to you?
Hmm. Of course, of
So
course. Hmm.
students have become so, and I really don't take it in any other way. Parents are not teaching their child to be
Mm-hmm.
strong
Okay,
and perceive the things the way they are saying.
okay.
Your teacher
Hmm.
is saying that.
Hmm.
You have to perceive the way they have been said,
Right. I think,
not the way you want to.
right. I think the
They
need
will
of the
say,
hour
ma'am,
is
after all,
trust.
kids. No, then they will say, ma'am, after all, they are kids. Then I say, okay, you can behave as kids.
Right,
Your kids are highly confused. So I
right,
tell them,
right.
let us, two of us,
Mm-hmm.
talk to each other, because neither your
Right,
parents, nor
right,
principal ma'am,
right,
nor officials, they will never understand what we two share
right.
with each
Of
other.
course, of course, of
So
course.
yes, they do understand, but it takes me few months and
Yeah,
then
because you know, a
all.
teacher-student bond is very special. And if a teacher talks directly to the
Very.
student, student talks directly to the teacher, many of the problems will be resolved automatically. The problem is that they don't talk. One-to-one
Yeah,
communication is
yeah.
missing. Yeah.
And this is where I say parents have their role in telling their kids that
Mm-hmm.
please have faith in your teacher.
Right.
She has said this. We'll take 10 more uh, incidents and then I'll talk to your teacher.
Right. Right. Right.
Give that
Yeah.
much time to a teacher.
Right. Exactly. Because teacher always thinks of the best for
So,
her
yeah.
students, right? That's a profession. That's the profession she
Yes.
worships. Yeah.
My father used to say, there are only two sets of people
Mm-hmm.
who are happy when you grow beyond them
Okay.
professionally. One is
Okay. Okay.
parents,
Yeah.
another
Yeah.
is teacher.
Right. Right.
So
Definitely.
have that
Definitely. Yeah. And
that
hats
if
off to
you
the
really
teachers.
do good in your life, teacher will always
Right.
say, Swati
Right.
is in my class.
Right. Right.
So
That's a
that's
beauty, you know, and that's there exactly
the
only in
beauty of
two.
this profession.
Yeah. Only teachers and your parents that they will only say that, you know, grow above
Grow
ourselves.
beyond
Yeah.
what we are. Please go beyond
Right.
that. A step
Right.
farther than.
Right. So, ma'am,
Yeah, we do
another.
say one more thing that child has to go one step further in profession, in education. Then only parents feel or teachers feel that
Mm-hmm.
we have done our best.
Wow. Wow. Yeah.
If
Right.
I'm if I am a MSc, if my daughter is not a doctorate,
Mm-hmm.
then what have I done?
Right.
40 years
Right.
back, I have
Right.
done my master. What have you done?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Right.
So don't
Right.
wall weave.
Right. So, ma'am, you're a daughter to two beautiful, you're a parent to two beautiful daughters who are all grown up and they are doing exceedingly well in their respective fields. Did you ever force them to choose those fields, or did they get
No,
that
no.
choice to choose anything they want to do?
Yeah, it was their choice, but we both are from science background. My husband is a
Mhm.
scientist, and I'm
Okay.
a science
Okay.
teacher. So my daughter, they were amazing dancers. They were very
Mm-hmm.
good in their literature. So I wanted
Right.
them to go for literature and all.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That my daughter said one thing which I would never forget. I asked her, that why don't you go for literature,
Mm-hmm.
journalism?
Right.
Such a good
Right.
writer. So
Right.
she said that they are my hobbies
Okay.
and this is my profession.
Right.
I choose a profession and I'll enjoy my hobbies. If I make
Right.
hobby my profession, where
Mm-hmm.
would I go for recreation?
Okay. That's a nice perspective.
So I really
Yeah.
like, I used to tell my
Right.
students this,
Right. This is
that
very
be
beautiful.
very clear about your profession and your
Right.
recreation. So I
Right.
used to say that if I make my hobbies my
Mm-hmm.
job, then where would I
Mm-hmm.
go for my recreation? So
That's
let
really
my
nice.
hobbies be my hobbies and my profession be my profession.
Yeah. Otherwise, your hobbies will also start haunting you. Like, you know, your profession that you will always be pressurized
Like your
for your
job.
hobbies also. Like, so, ma'am, being a teacher, what kind of challenges or pressures a teacher faces? You know, I understand bullying is one of the things, but apart from that, you know, what kind of challenges a teacher faces?
When you say a teacher faces,
Any
I
teacher
might be able to.
faces. Yeah.
Yeah, any
Yeah. Yeah.
teacher. Because
Yeah. Yeah.
personally, I have been very lucky not to face any
Okay.
kind of
Okay.
challenges,
Okay.
except
Okay. Okay.
except that parents would come
Right.
and
Right.
say, "Ma'am,
Right.
आप बहुत सीखते हैं, मैम बच्चा आपसे डरता है, वो आंसर इसलिए नहीं करता," which later on, after a month or
Right.
two, I would
Right.
give that up to the child. But yes, teachers do nowadays. Teachers are under pressure. They are
Mm-hmm.
literally under pressure
Okay.
because pressure from parents,
Mm-hmm.
pressure of completing the syllabus,
Mm-hmm.
their competition with the coaching classes,
Mm-hmm.
coaching classes telling students that school is not important,
Okay.
but
Okay.
then authorities ask teachers to force students or make, do some miracle so that student comes to your class. We have been questioned. Our capabilities are questioned.
Right.
To the attendance in our class is poor.
No, I can understand. I can understand.
And when there is a good result, it is said, आजकल तो बच्चे coaching भी बहुत लेते हैं ना. Okay, then what are we doing here?
Right.
This is that job satisfaction for which a teacher pays.
Right.
Believe me,
Right.
if you understand at this level of your profession, we are not a well-paid profession.
Of course.
Right? So why anybody would come to teaching?
Of course.
There
It's
can be
their
two things.
passions. Yeah.
Their passion for subject and their passion to deal with young minds.
Right. To groom those minds.
I shouldn't be saying it, but I did not get very good chemistry teacher in my school.
Okay.
Science teachers, because from our times, the students who were good would go for other professions, science professions. They will go for master. After masters, they'll go for. They'll even teaching. They would go for lectureship.
Okay.
They would go to university.
Okay.
They would never come to school because school has much more demanding. Very demanding.
Right. Of course.
From point of view of a young mind, their work, their checking work, their exam, the discussion in the exam, questions are like discussed.
Right.
So unless and until you really have a craving to deal with this young mind, and you are very, you should have a very good authority on your subject, because in college, believe me, half of the time students don't even listen to what teacher is saying.
Of course.
Forget about challenging whether he or she knows it or not.
Right.
Young kids come in 11th class full of energy with science. And if you can't deal with their curiosities, you are gone. And they are also gone.
Right. Of course. No, I remember.
Subject.
Right.
Unless and until you are sure about that, because young kids outrightly reject you.
Of course. But I remember, ma'am. Yeah.
First day, if you cannot capture them, it will take 6 months to prove that you know the subject.
Right. I remember, ma'am, I never joined any coaching class. I did join it only for those competitive examinations, but other than that, no. Whatever, our teachers taught us, that got captured in my mind, and I used to write it in exam. And I was blessed to have such teachers, I was blessed to have
used to be very good, Swati. Even I know that. I used to say, write each and every word what I'm discussing. I'm not dictating anything.
So, before
you used to write on the sides of those notebooks. I remember that.
So before going to an exam, I just used to open my notebook, not even the books. I just used to open my notebook and revise that. It was already there in my mind because, because of the wonderful teachers like you, it was already there in the minds. And I didn't think there is a need of anything else. If a student is perfectly attentively attending the class, there is no need of anything else.
Nowadays, maybe pressure of joining the coaching classes is also very high on students. I don't blame them.
Right. That's the trend.
Really become, in 18 years, things have become worse as far as coaching is concerned. So
I understand.
It has become difficult.
It has sort of become a trend. Yeah. My child is going to this and this coaching class.
And if somebody is not going, oh my God. So if somebody tells you that he or she has not joined coaching class, the immediate next question other person will ask, so you are planning to drop a year.
Oh.
That means if you have not joined a coaching, this year you are only, and they will say, yeah, it's a good decision. You should concentrate on one thing at a time. So now you concentrate on 12 and then you will go for coaching. That means for competitive exam, you have to go for coaching. This is how people have started interpreting now. So
Right.
that is
So,
also
ma'am, one more thing that I came across during, the past few weeks is that I was talking to a lot of people, and they were saying that, we took science in school just because, everybody used to say that you should take science. But now we think that maybe I should have taken psychology at that time. Maybe I should have gone into humanities. But I took science because everyone says, science is the key to a good profession or blue collar job. So, what is your take on
less.
that?
Uh, See, I will not take it like that, but yes, students are under peer pressure. So there are times that when even after first UT,
Mhm.
they drop the idea of going to
Okay.
the science and they change. I have
Mhm.
even seen a child who passed 11th, just passed.
Mhm. Mhm.
It was
Okay.
like a promotion
Mhm.
type of a thing. Promotion
Mhm.
granted, remember those
Mhm.
grace marks?
Right. Right.
But then he dropped.
Mm.
He said that I have only cleared 11. That means in 12th, nobody is going to give me those grace
Right.
marks. So either
Right.
I'll
Right.
flunk in 12th class
Right.
because I have realized that I'm not for science, or rather, science
Right.
is not for me.
Right. Right.
I don't
Right.
enjoy. And can you believe this is a very rare case when even
Right.
after
Right.
passing, the
Mhm.
child leaves and repeats 11th
Mhm.
with some other
Mhm.
subject. So this trend is little bit going down.
Mhm.
I,
Okay. Okay.
yes, there are students, but let me
Mhm.
tell you one thing. Mediocre or below mediocre
Mhm.
students,
Right.
only they take it under pressure. See, they are actually trying to prove themselves, or their
Mhm.
parents are trying
Okay.
to show that their child has got science.
Right. 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 True.
Otherwise, good students who are a little bit in academics,
Mm.
they nowadays they really identify their choice
Right.
very
Right.
clearly.
Right.
So many students of my 9th, 10th,
Mhm.
and I really used to coax them, beta, please take science. आप लोग भी नहीं लेंगे तो हम किसको पढ़ाएंगे? But then they used to say, no, ma'am, you will always be our teacher, but my passion is
Right.
towards commerce. I
Right.
have, so
Right.
good students have planned it for
Mhm.
future.
That's
मैम
really
मुझे ना उसके
nice.
बाद सीए करना है. No, ma'am, I want to go. I want to
Right.
be an HR. A
Right.
child
Right.
of
Right.
10th class says, I want to be an HR. So then I says, okay, for HR, you will need only MBA, right?
Right.
So that you could do even after engineering or
Right.
but no,
Yeah.
ma'am.
Right.
So students are clear. But yes, the
Right.
mediocres or the one who are not very clear about their choices, they do go. But yes, I also tell one thing which I don't know how many of you will agree with me.
Mm-hmm.
I do tell students that if you are not very clear about your future plans
Mm-hmm.
and you think that you can manage these 2 years,
Mm-hmm. Right.
manage,
Okay.
take science.
Okay. Okay.
Because believe me, the way science deals with you, you don't
Mm-hmm.
deal, science deals. It
Right.
opens up your thought process.
Right. Of
And
course.
I say
Right.
that after 12th, and
Mm-hmm.
some of our education
Mm-hmm.
system makes you so hardworking in science
Right.
that you
Right.
other subjects you manage to get good marks. The amount of the
Mm-hmm.
studying
Mm-hmm.
hours you need for
Mm-hmm.
good marks, you
Mm-hmm.
barely pass in science
Right.
with those that
Right.
kind of
Of
hard marks.
course.
So if you
Right.
do good in science, even if you get
Mm-hmm.
80% in science,
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling you, you take up anything in your graduation
And you'll clear
and you
it.
will be a rank holder.
Right.
So
Right.
I tell them that if you can't, you don't have a very, very clear choice at present,
Right.
take
Right.
science.
Right.
Do this 2 years of
Mm-hmm.
hard labor. I'll give you a very nice this thing what I tell my students. See,
Right.
everything, सब कुछ लिखा है. तो आपके हिस्से जैसे आपके हिस्से की मिठाई भी लिखी हुई है.
Was
आप ज्यादा खा
destiny.
लीजिए,
Yeah.
आपको डायबिटीज हो जाएगी, रेस्ट ऑफ द लाइफ यू वोंट बी एबल टू.
Right. Right.
इसी तरह से
Right.
आपके हिस्से की एक मेहनत भी लिखी हुई है.
Of course. Right.
आप उसको अपने यंग एज में कर लीजिए,
Right.
रेस्ट ऑफ द लाइफ यू एंजॉय.
Of course.
थोड़ी थोड़ी कीजिए, सारी उम्र
Right.
करते रहिए.
Right. And that is so
So
true,
I tell my students,
Yeah. That is beautiful, you know.
Do
You
your
have to
best.
work hard for a particular amount of time, and once you put that
God,
hard
so when
work,
you have energy,
yeah,
do that.
exactly,
And then life is
exactly,
yours.
exactly. That's very
Otherwise, थोड़ा
beautiful.
थोड़ा खाते रहो, थोड़ी थोड़ी चीनी सारी उम्र खाओ.
Yeah. That's beautiful. Ma'am, my last question is that you are a mom to two beautiful daughters. Have you ever faced this question that, you know, we want a male child, we prefer a male child over a female child? Because in Indian society, at least, it is still, you know, some taboo that, you know, they prefer a male child over a female one.
Maybe, Swati, I'm just lucky. You can say that. I don't say that this doesn't exist in the society,
Right,
but I have been lucky with a very beautiful set of two parents,
right, right.
and obviously my husband. Uh, so I never faced that.
Mm-hmm.
Never, ever.
Right.
Uh, and uh, one thing I would like to convey, since you are my
Mm-hmm.
daughter, I would like to convey this thing to you. It's high time to think बच्चे हैं. हमारे दो बच्चे हैं. When you say you have
Right,
got two daughters, I
right,
would say I have got two kids.
right, right.
Stop making them
Labeling.
gender specialized.
Right, right.
Now, unless and until somebody asks you,
Hmm.
two kids, are they daughters? Are they
Right,
sons?
right,
A daughter? Because now, you know, I shouldn't be telling you. Now, everywhere they say that
right,
we should be gender neutral.
right.
Then
And
why
yeah,
kids? Because remember, जब तक आप अपने दिमाग में उन्हें बच्चे नहीं सोचोगे ना, they are your kids. You will never raise them as kids. You will
right,
raise them as daughter and a son.
right, of course.
And that is the major issue when they grow up and make their own families. They
Right,
become
right,
husband and wife. They don't become
right,
partners.
right, right.
So I
Yeah.
have two kids, beautiful two kids.
Yeah,
And since I brought them as kids, I brought them as two persons, so two personalities who have their life choices in every aspect. They want to be
nice,
single, they want to get
nice.
married to this particular person. So they are my kids. So
Right,
yes, I've been blessed with two daughters with very good future, very good careers.
right,
And I never asked them. Yes, I told you. I
right.
wanted one of them to be in literature, but then I told
Right.
you the answer.
Oh,
So
that's
this was,
wonderful, you know. We have to stop labeling them as a male or a female gender.
yes,
Just call them
they're
kids.
kids. They are
Yeah.
your kids. And they are siblings.
Nice. Exactly. They're siblings.
They are beautiful words.
Right.
हमारे बच्चे हैं, आपस में they are siblings. Where the
Right.
word boy and girl, brother and sister
Right.
comes, they are
Right.
relations.
Exactly.
We don't have to
Exactly.
term the relations. We have to
Right. We
term
don't have to
them
term
as
the relations.
relations.
Yeah. And I've seen daughters taking care of their parents more these days than the sons, you know. Some
No,
in some areas.
that also comes from nature. See, nature
Okay.
has given this caring term
Right.
to female.
Right. Of course. Of course.
Saying anything about the boys.
Right.
That is why they are mothers, na? That
Of
is why
course.
God
Of
has given
course.
them this
Right.
capability of giving birth.
Right. Of course. Of course.
So that caring, see, only a person who can care without seeing another individual can be a mother.
Exactly. Exactly.
So this nature has given to us. So
Right.
we should respect that.
Right.
So this
Right.
nature of care has been
Mm-hmm.
given to a girl,
Right.
to a female,
Right.
whether she's a mother or a sister
Right.
or a
Right.
daughter. So
Of
when you say
course.
daughters are caring, I don't agree. I say that
Women in
gender
general.
has
Yeah.
been blessed with this nature of care.
Right.
So if that person is good, so she'll be caring as a daughter, and she'll
Right.
be caring as a daughter-in-law.
Right.
She'll be
Right.
caring
Right.
as a mother.
Right.
And remember,
Right.
if a girl is not caring enough, then she's not caring for parents,
Of
nor for
course.
in-laws.
Of course. Of
तो
course.
बेटियां अच्छी नहीं होती, वो इंसान अच्छा होता है, और अगर वो
Right.
अच्छा होता है तो वो बेटी भी अच्छी होती है और वो बहू भी
Beautiful.
अच्छी है.
Beautiful. Thank you,
This
ma'am.
is
You know
what
it.
I understand.
Thank you, ma'am, for your wonderful insights. I'm really
Thank you,
inspired, and I'm sure
Swati.
everyone would be inspired by you. Thank you
Thank you,
so much for
Swati. It's
giving
so
your
nice
time.
to call me. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
God bless
Have a good day, ma'am. God bless you too.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.